Hello, everyone. Welcome to You Know What I Mean Like. I have a surprise. I have a special guest from Canada. Thank you very much to stay with me. She knows how is the life in Ireland. And she's
Little
here
bit.
with me. Brittany, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm good. Thank
So
you.
thank you to stay here with me. And we really need to talk so many stuff about marriage.
I know.
And so could you tell us a little bit about your podcast?
Oh, sure. I actually wanted to start my podcast a long time ago, but way before pandemic, I was going to start a podcast because I'm a photographer and I'm home a lot by myself. So when I'm not
Yeah.
shooting, I'm home by myself and I talk a lot. And so I thought, well, I'll start a podcast. And then I started to worry that, when you're a creative person and you start to doubt yourself and you think like, nobody's going to like what I make. Nobody's going to think I'm funny. Nobody's going to think I'm
Yes.
interesting. So I put it off and I put it off and I put it off. And then the pandemic happened and I thought like, I have no reason to put it off anymore because what else am I going to do? So I did it. It was sort of like the boost that I needed. So I just talk. I like to, same as you, I like to just interview people. I love stories. So I love to tell stories and for people to tell me their stories because I grew up, my grandma and I were really, really close and she told the best stories ever. She really had my family, our background is Irish. And so, you kind of have the gift of gab.
This why
And
you come over here sometimes just
yeah.
to see how is the country. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like my homeland. So yeah, no, I just tell stories and interview people, and I have a Mimosa Mystery Monday episode that I do
Yes.
every few weeks because I like scary stories. So, but I always tell my mom. My mom doesn't like scary stories, so I tell her whatever I put out on Monday, do not listen to it because it's too scary.
Yes.
So yeah, I just it's called Prosecco and Ponies because I love Prosecco. It's my favorite drink.
Wow.
And I love ponies. I have a pony
It's
tattooed on my
great.
arm. So, and I had ponies all growing up. So I thought this is perfect. So yeah,
The perfect match. Like,
yeah.
okay. At home with Prosecco and my pony.
Exactly.
So yes, I heard few like things on your podcast, and it was like so good when I was reading, and I was like, oh, I love the way she put the things like writing, go grab a drink, and I was like, okay, I really needed to talk about it, and I was like, so go steal a drink and watch us. It's kind of like, okay, the moment that you are here with me, I will just like need to write something and to talk, and I was like, oh, I found this so cute. I was like, go grab a drink. I was like, I love it. I needed to I need to say that. I was like, so the podcast, what's my name again? I love the trailer. It was so good.
Thank you.
And I was like, whoa, what's my name again? And Two Tales, Mimosa Mystery. Oh my God. When I read this, like Mimosa, um, I had these kind of things with my mom, because of the Mimosa, and then sometimes I call her Mimosa and she was like, shut up, Mimosa. If I want to talk too much, and she just like, shut up, Mimosa. And I was like, okay, yes, you don't want to hear me anymore? Fine.
Like, oh.
But so here it is. Today we are going to talk about marriage, and I want to know more things. And if you had, the stories, like when everything happened, how it happened, and when did you first met your partner?
Okay, so I met I'm gonna have to go way back in my memory bank.
Yes.
So we have actually been together since I was 16. And so I'm going to date myself now, but I was 16 and he was 18 and we met, and we started dating the first day that we met.
Mhm.
And we are going to celebrate our anniversary next week. And we've been together for 21 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
Oh my
you.
God.
Yeah.
This probably kind of, it is something like an Irish fairy tale, when we met someone special and then we can't, so we don't know exactly that we will be with that person for long, but we can feel something that we will be with that person, and then we will have the best experience and so many other things, you know. And when you first met, you thought that was like a true love, true story love, was love for the first sight?
Oh, 100% love at first sight. So I'll try to condense it because I have a podcast,
Like,
so I'll just keep talking.
I know.
So the year before I actually met him, his name is Jared, and the year before I met him, I was at a concert with a friend, with my boyfriend. Actually, I was at a concert with my boyfriend at the time. And from across the arena, like across an entire arena, I saw this really cute guy. And it was like there was a light shining on him. I'm not even kidding. I wish I could make that up. So I saw like this handsome, skinny, long-haired boy. And I was like, who is that? He's so cute. And so I happened to be, like during like the intermission, the band took a break or it was between bands. And so we were out in the hallway and I saw the guy walk by, but he was with a guy that I went to high school with. And so I was like, holy crap, like my friend that I go to high school with knows this guy. So the next day I said to my friend, I was like, who was that guy that you were with last night at Motley Crue? And he said, oh, that's my buddy. And I was like, I need to meet him because he's very cute. And so, I was only 15. And so, you're in high school, you get busy, whatever.
Yeah.
And so the next year I had an English class with this guy named Craig, and Craig said, hey, like I'm going to have a party. We're going to have a party at my friend's house. If you want to meet him, you should come. And so I was like, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I was pretty rebellious. And I was only 16. And so I told my mom that I was going to go spend the night at my friend Pam's house. I don't even have a friend named Pam, but I told her I was going to go spend the night at my friend Pam's house. I gave her a fake phone number because this was way back before cell phone. There was no cell phones in 2000. And so I gave her a fake phone number and a fake name. And then I got a ride so I lived in a smaller town. And so I got a ride into like the big city to meet this guy. Like he could have murdered me and put my body in a ditch. Like he could have done anything. But he didn't. He was very nice. And that night we kissed and did a lot of things we probably shouldn't do. And then he said, would you be my girlfriend? And I said, yes, absolutely. And we've been together ever since.
This was not weird, but was the best, like love story. And I like to know, and I like to hear all these things because when these kind of things happen, when it's something like real that you do, for happiness, this is like, you don't think twice. You don't need to be scared of anything. You just like say yes and go ahead because you know that you will win something like big.
Yeah.
And your family before, when you first met, so everyone had kind of issue with him or with this, your relationship, or everyone was fine?
No, I sort of was. So my family, like, we were really close, but they sort of, like, my mom was kind of right in the middle of going through a divorce with my stepdad. And so she was kind of in her own world and just, I was a very, I didn't have a lot of, I'll try to say this nicely because I don't want it to sound like my mom was a bad mom. She wasn't a bad mom. I just didn't really have a lot of rules growing up. Like, there was never any rules really. So when my family met Jared for the first time, though, like, he looked like such a badass. Like, he had like long green hair, and he always wore a leather jacket, and he looked like he was in a metal band, which is why I liked him in the first place. But he looked like such a bad guy, but like, he really was as responsible as like an 18-year-old high school dropout could have been. Like, before I met him, he had like been homeless and lived in his car for a while.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he dropped out of high school when he was like pretty young. And then he just worked as much as he could. And then he rented a house and got a car. Like, he really is like a self-made guy. Like, nobody helped him, and nobody gave him any help for anything. Like, everything he has, he's worked his ass off for. And so I think my family that I was really close with, my auntie and uncle, I think when they met him, they were sort of the ones that looked out for me when my mom she just couldn't, like, she was going through a lot. My stepdad was really abusive. So she was going through a lot of trauma trying to get rid of him and keep us safe. And so my auntie and uncle, when they met Jared, they really liked him right away, which is very surprising because, they would have been the first ones to be like, who is this boy? Like, get rid of him, or, but they liked him right away because I think they just saw that he was actually just a really good person. And so they were actually very, they always wanted us to come out and spend the weekend with them. And they would give us money for gas because they lived in a town about 2.5 hours away from us. So they would give us gas money and feed us all weekend. And they were so supportive. And my auntie was even our officiant at our wedding. She married us. And then she passed away 2 years later from cancer also. But so they always loved Jared before they even really knew him that well, because he just kind of gives off that he's very calm and he's very soothing and he's very kind. And I think they saw, how happy I was, and then they were just kind of okay with it.
Yeah. So for all the relationships that we know that normal people, and have you ever had conflicts or arguments? And because the way that sometimes we are talking, and in my head probably I was just like, oh, her relationship and marriage was like, it's a fairy tale, So
no.
do you both have something, like, if you don't like something, or if you start a conflict or argument, so how can you solve that? How can you solve this situation?
It's hard. Like, him and I think I kind of mentioned this earlier, like, him and I are very different. I'm a creator. I'm a very emotional artist, and he's a very level-headed, like, left-brained. He likes plans and notes, and to be, he always likes to know what's happening, and I could not care less. I'm just like, woo, whatever happens. And so we're very, like, I'm a night person, he's a morning person, and so we do have a lot of conflict. But it's the fact that, like, especially now that we're both older, back in our early 20s, like, oh man, we would fight. Like, he put his fist through the wall and I kicked a hole in our wall because I was mad at him. And then I made him fix it because I was like, this is your fault that I did this. Like, I threw a wrench at him once, and like, we've definitely had like screaming matches, because we're still human and we're still like, when you have a partner, it's not always going to be perfect, but if you can scream it out for a minute, because I'm Irish and sometimes I scream, but like if you scream it out for a minute, like you can just go, like people say don't go to bed angry, but like I don't believe that. Like, go to bed angry, just go to bed and get out of my face. Like, I don't care. But then you can wake up and go through the situation, and as long as you're mature enough to sit down and talk about what happened and why it happened and like how you can do better for the next time. Like, if you really love someone, you can sort of selfishly take a step back and say like, okay, well, how did this make them feel? I'm really bad at that. And he would tell you that. Like, I am very selfish and, very, I act on emotion right away, and he doesn't do that. So if we were both like that, we probably wouldn't be together, but he's very, he's a lot more calm than I am. And so he'll just leave. He'll be like, you know what, I'm going to walk away and we can talk later when you're not screaming into my mouth. It takes a lot of work, but now that we're older though, like we definitely fight a lot less because I think we just know, like, I want to be with this person, even if like right now I want to put a pillow over their face, like later I'll feel better. So I'm just going to leave it. But it is tough, when you spend your life with someone in the same house, you have the same friends, like it's hard. It's really hard. It's not easy.
It is. So can you see something in your marriage that you feel sad, or there is nothing on your marriage that makes you feel sad? Kind of like the way that I say that it's been like, if it's small things, sometimes when happen, you are annoyed. You know what I mean? If if your husband or partner just put something in a different place that you don't like, or the towels on the bed, or open the door and forget to close, because sometimes this happens. I can say like, sometimes this happened with me, but
Me too. Yeah, there's like, there's always little things. I'm sure, I know I do a ton of stuff that drives him completely crazy, but I think like the biggest one sometimes is that I'm so emotional. I act on emotion right away, and he's not emotional at all. And his lack of emotion hurts me a lot because I'm very like, I get excited about things, and he, it's really hard to like make him laugh, and I laugh really easily, and so sometimes his lack of emotion is hard for me to understand, and it hurts my feelings when he's not showing like, if he doesn't
emotion.
Like if I like have spent a lot of time on my hair and makeup and I like look good when he comes home, and if he doesn't come in right away and he's like, oh my God, you look amazing, you're so beautiful, I'm so lucky, my feelings are hurt. And it's like, he shouldn't have to do that, but like if I spent a lot of time like waiting for him to like, I'm like, oh, look how good I look, like, you're so lucky you still have a hot wife, you fuck, like, but and so like sometimes his like lack of that is like, it bugs me and it hurts my feelings, but then I overreact on everything, and then that hurts his feelings. So it's like, it's, it can be hard. It can, like, marriage isn't easy. I'm sure you know that, like, especially
I
now, like
know.
that where everybody's in lockdown, we're all stuck together. Like, it's hard. It's so
Yeah.
hard.
When everything happened to me, and both of us were happy. Like, we are happy, but we are more kind of like, because we live, we could do whatever we want, like before, without this lockdown. And we had like fights, we had like arguments, we had like so many things that in the beginning both of us were trying and hard to understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the lockdown and this pandemic started, we couldn't do anything else, because I couldn't say like, okay, where is the paper? I want a divorce. So,
Nope.
it is complicated, but it's just sometimes the way that probably I can say that lots of people think that, oh, your life or your marriage is better than my life or my marriage, or the others is better than my life or my marriage or my this, my that. We are kind of like trying to put something different over, and we are blind a little bit for the reality, because then when I had these arguments, or small things that happened before, and now we just like sit down and start talking and laugh with all that thing, and I was just like, you see, you are a big tit, you are a big tit. So, and I was like,
Yeah.
you called me a big tit. I was like, okay, yes, I'm not. You are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you, not
But
me.
yes, like sometimes when we want to make a joke, it's I know that in the end, it's like deep, we know that it's true,
Mhm.
It's kind of like, so it's not my fault, it is your fault.
Yeah. I think like something that has been really good for us is we both have, just over the past couple years, especially,
Yeah.
like we have, obviously when you've been with somebody for 20 years, you have gone through everything together. I've lost a lot of family. Like my auntie passed away. My dad passed away. Like, just, we've gone through a lot of loss together, and that I feel like will either bring people closer or farther
Yes.
apart. And for quite a while, like, it did pull us a little bit apart, just because I was so sad all the time, and that was hard for him. But over the past while, like, we've both become very, I guess spiritual is the right word. Like, we both meditate every day. We both do a gratitude every day. And we work really hard on like our own selves. And that has helped a lot, because we both have realized, like, I'm not responsible for his happiness, and he's not responsible for my happiness. Like, we both have to love ourselves and be happy in our own bodies and in our own space, and
Yeah.
then we can be happy together. So it took us a long time to learn, we aren't responsible. Like, if I'm upset about something, I have to, it's on me, I shouldn't let him be responsible for my feelings, even though, that is hard for me personally, because I'm a very emotional person. But
Yeah,
like,
it is really hard to understand, like, it's hard to understand us and to know us, the person that we are, and live together and stay with someone that we are trying, knowing us, and we needed to learn and to know the person that we are with. It's been like it is complicated because one thing, sometimes if the person says something that it's a joke or just to make you laugh or feel comfortable, you kind of like think that the person it's not making a joke, and then you try, you try just to put the person a little bit down, or the way sometimes we can understand as well, even the feeling, because if you are sad or if you are angry, the energy and all that around you is like going to another person, and the person sometimes they don't need you to say something. It's just the way they look,
and you feel it.
they can feel it. It is hard in this part. I am so for both of us that we are like, now we are one year married, and we completed 2 years together yesterday, and then we were just
Congratulations.
like, thank you. And it was really, really difficult because we were arguing in a small thing. It's like, oh, you don't say you love me, oh, you don't say this. But if I was quiet, I was upset or I was angry with something different, that like out of my marriage, out of my relationship, and he could say to me, he was trying, but both of us, it was like, I don't listen, he don't listen. Both of us, it's like, okay, I let you alone, I let you, and then I come down, we sit down together and try to talk. But then both of us were a really talkative person,
Yeah.
And then could you imagine, like, he tried to talk to me about like his feeling, not everything, because he's like, it's more personal person that wants to keep lots of things like just for him. But I am the person that I want to talk about everything, what kind of things I have, what I don't have, what I think, what I don't think, what I feel or not. And
would you say that you're the more emotional one, or is your husband more emotional? Like, who's more emotional? Like, and where it comes out? Yeah.
I am a roller coaster, I am louder. Yeah. I am really emotional. If he tries to, to think about something, or even like, oh, I need to buy a card for someone, one of friends or someone, and in my head, I think like, why he says that he loves me and he put me first, but he he's buying the car for, and like, not for me first,
right?
Go in the shop, buy something, I feel happy, and then you do whatever you want. You buy so many cards, you you know you go there to buy something for someone that you like or you love.
Yeah.
It's like, but we had these kind of things. It's a little bit like, if I say that it's a kind of competition, in the beginning was really, really like that, because I was trying to understand, he was trying to understand me, and both of us was like a roller coaster together, and his feeling and my feeling, and then we had separate things in the past, and when the past doesn't live, for the present and future, this is start being really, really hard, but
yeah,
now we are really fine. If
that's
I feel
good.
something, breathe, don't say anything. Like, even if you want to say something nice, oh, but I didn't do that. But then it's better, you being silent and think, relax, and then say something that the person can feel that you are happy, or you are not angry or sad anymore.
Yeah.
So this is really, like, marriage is really complex thing.
It really is. Like, it's so fascinating because we're all these little spirits trying to understand someone else's spirit and be with that other spirit, like it's hard. It's really hard. But
it is.
I think if you feel like, are you stronger with him or without him? That's like the big thing. I feel I'm a better person and I'm a stronger person with him than without him. And so whenever we have horrible fights, which we do, or we have arguments, or he makes me cry, or I make him angry, you have to go to bed. And whenever you probably don't sleep, and I don't really sleep, but eventually, a couple days later, you're like, no, like I like who I am more with you than without you.
Yeah, we are the same. Because if I'm angry with something, or vice versa, sometimes, so he can't sleep and I can't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And both, because I'm worried, about lots of things. And it's like, now what will happen with me? What will happen with him? What will happen with us? What we need to do? And for me, it's like, oh, I need to start being like more calm. I needed to understand, because for me, it's like, it's a really different culture as well. I'm not from here. I am in his comfort zone, and he is from here,
Yeah.
and to know more things. It's not when you don't have the same culture of the other person, it's more, it is really hard. It's harder than to just like, oh, you didn't say that because of that. Oh, you didn't do that because of this.
Mm-hmm.
You want straight away something, but then the person can't understand, because the person is still knowing you. Your feelings, your thought, and everything that you expect. But marriage in general, I can say that it's not like, kind of like a game. You're happy, or if you're not happy, exactly, and what you can do. Oh, I'm not happy today because I'm in the mood. But then you just put something and show who you are, like, your partner, that you are fine.
Yeah.
But then, instead of being angry with something, said with a good manner. It's like, oh, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling this way because of this. And then the person is straight away know what you are feeling. And then everything is fine, because then if you want to break something, you want to scream, and the person straight away puts something in front. It's like, okay, exactly. I need to run.
Yeah. So would you say, who gets over a fight faster, you or him?
Both.
Like, are you guys like right away you can just get over it, or do you need like a little bit of time? Like, do you need a night of like quiet and then the next day?
This is a straight away.
Oh, that's like, good.
If happens something, 5 minutes after we are, so he's the most that come over, because at first I needed to think, because my feelings sometimes is like, I don't know if he's okay if I go there, but and then I wait until he comes over and talk to me, but he is the first to say sorry or to come over and hug me. And then I feel completely like, okay, I know that he likes me. I know that he loves me, and I know that I made this wrong. I did this wrong. Oh, this is my fault. You know, it's like if happens something and he knows that he did something wrong, he's the first to say that he did something wrong. If it's me, sometimes I don't know. I need to. It's like, oh, but you did this wrong. Not me. I don't know, but it's just something that I completely don't know what I have like in my brain. I was like, no, for me, I didn't do that. You know, I didn't start talking. I didn't start a fight. I didn't start. But it's just the way that we are. You know, some people just get kind of like the defense, you know, and put that kind of like barricade in front. And it's just like, if I start something, it's not my fault. You know, I didn't do that. Oh, but no, I didn't say that. But others, they have easily way to listen and to see the things that is happening. And oh, but you say this, you say that, but no, you did first that thing. This is why I reacted that way. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, okay. You are right. I'm right. Nobody's wrong. Just
I
put
like
this
that.
way. Like, it's just like that. It is like
funny.
Yeah, it's the best way. No arguments no more, no fights no more. It's like
exactly.
Start having something. Both of us is right. Both of us start talking. But now it's a little bit like, okay, may I talk? Why are you talking too much?
That's funny. Yeah, that's marriage.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong. Everything before, because for us, so if we were like single, you know, everything would be us and for us and us all the time, you know, with friends, family, and everything in general. But now we are married, and we really need to think twice, probably 4 or 10 times. You know, if you want something for you, you need to think about your partner. If you think to buy the best thing for you, you need to think about your partner, you know, and vice versa. If you want to go in a place, you need to think, you know, oh, my partner it's like he's off today, he want to go. It's not like, oh, I will go and that's it, and he stay at home. It's like, you know. But we are fine.
That's good.
What do you see as the weaknesses in your marriage?
I guess just I think it's just always trying to understand the other person and trying to like put your kind of selfishness aside often. You know, and that's like I struggle with that probably more than him. Like he definitely I think because he's just a lot calmer than I am, and he doesn't react right away the way that I do. And so, you know, I'm just I have a very fiery temper. I'm very emotional and I'm very creative. So I make stories up in my brain of scenarios that haven't even happened yet. You know, and so I think just always working on understanding the other person and and supporting them through their faults is the hardest. Yeah. Because not everybody's perfect. I'm certainly not perfect. And, but if you choose to love someone, you have to choose to support them, whether they're good or not so good.
You need it. So you start working on yourself to see what is the things that sometimes, your partner can feel like sad or uncomfortable or, different. But it is like the way that I said to you before, like it is really hard, even in the beginning. So I have only 1 year. You are like
a lot. Well, we've been married. We've been together for 21 years and then married for 11. Married for 11 years.
Yeah. So 11 years, it's not like 1 hour, 11 days. It is a long, long, long time.
It's a long time.
Do you, do you still have like jealousy thing on your side, or your partner is still jealous with something? Or this was like before?
Yeah, that was a lot more when we were younger, I would say. But I'm pretty like, so for a living, I shoot naked people. Like I shoot naked people, and I'm pretty open with like my body and my sexuality, and I wasn't always like that. And so he has had to sort of like adapt with that change, and that hasn't really been easy for either of us. But he used to be very jealous when we were younger. I used to be very jealous when we were younger, but I feel like once you've been together for so long, you kind of like, you have to be comfortable enough to know like this person isn't going anywhere, and they're mine. They're my person, So yeah, that I think jealousy, it's not really a thing anymore. I think if anything, one of our biggest struggles is that I'm a very outgoing person. I will talk to anybody, which is why, you are the same. If you have a podcast, like you have to just be able to talk to anybody. And as a photographer, I have to be able to make people really comfortable and to have easy conversation with small talk. And he's not like that at all. So I would say it's harder for him to make friends because he's very quiet. He's very reserved, unless he's having a bunch of drinks, then he doesn't shut up. But
this is normal.
When he's sober, though, he's very quiet, very reserved, and it's harder for him to make friends because he won't just go up to somebody like me and just be like, "Oh my God, I love your outfit. Your hair looks great. Good for you. Let's be friends." He won't do that, but I do that all the time, and I think that is harder for him because I will just say whatever's on my mind to whoever is around me. And he just is not like that. And so I think that is a little bit hard because he will make comments like, "Oh, all your friends," and all like, "Oh, if we go anywhere, everybody's going to want to talk to you." And I'm like, well, I'm the one that's just my personality, and I think sometimes I guess I'm speaking for him, but I think sometimes that is a little bit hard for him. I think it's hard when you're with somebody that has a very different personality than you. It's not always easy to understand that, but I think balance like is a really good thing. We both can't be like that.
Yeah. So we are like that as well. He always try, to make me feel comfortable, happy. And if I need something, he runs in the shop, and wake me up. Or if I'm sleeping, he goes downstairs, make that breakfast and brings my coffee or tea, or he asks me first, if I'm awake. "Oh, baby, what do you want? You want tea or coffee?" And I was like, "Oh, I just want coffee, in the morning."
Do you, sorry to interrupt you, but do you feel like, do you still ask him if he wants something, even like just to kind of make it seem like it's new? Like, even, okay, so my
Yes.
example would be like,
Yes.
you're going to make coffee, you know, he's going to want coffee, but you still are like, oh, do you want coffee?
Yes.
And like, you know, I think like it's just I don't know. I don't know if other married people do that. So I was just curious.
Yes. We still has this thing every single day. It's like when he said yesterday that he wants to do the things every day, kind of like the first time when we first met, you know, our
Mhm.
first dinner together, our first, you know, like everything together, like for the first time. And then I made a joke. I was like, so you don't need to do that because, you know, we are doing that all the time. We are together to each other 24/7, you know, but it was just a way he feels like, oh, I want to say because I want to know, you know, and this way we talk all the time. It's like, oh, you want a tea or coffee? Oh, I just want a coffee. I know that he want a coffee, but
Yeah.
it's
But
just
you ask anyway.
to say
Yeah.
yes. Just like,
Yeah.
you want a biscuit? You want a cup of tea or coffee? I want a coffee.
Yeah. That's
But
good.
it's just the, you know,
I
just to
think
feel
that's
like,
nice. I don't know. I think it's nice to make at least like make little things like that. Just, I don't know, just a nice interaction, you know?
cutie, you know, it's
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
a cute way to, because sometimes we don't have anything else to talk, you know?
Yeah. I hear you.
It's like we don't have anything inside or outside, or even with so many things that we are doing and we still don't have anything to say. We just
Yeah.
ask something, you know? It's like
Yeah.
if we are watching TV or there's like instead we start talking about the movie and then I don't know what to say, and then just like, oh babe, I go downstairs to make a cup of tea. Sometimes he just said to me like, oh, it's your turn to go downstairs to make tea.
Oh.
It's like I went twice or three times, now it's your turn. But I know that he, you know, he's joking. But
Yeah.
it's like, oh, yes, you went downstairs three times, but I made food, I made this, I cleaned this, I cleaned that, and now it's your turn. But I, you know, I go the same way, just
Yeah.
make jokes and laugh.
Yeah.
But it is really like good, you know, with this when we start talking and making jokes, and it's like even just like to ask again and again. It's like, you want a
Yeah.
tea or coffee? Oh, this is your turn. No. Oh, could you just like go downstairs? Or sometimes just, I'm not feeling well. Could you just go downstairs?
Yeah.
It's like, you are well. You are.
Yeah, like you're fine. Let's go.
Yes.
That's funny.
There's something that um do, did you see in your partner that like that kind of love you had, you still have, or it's more like normal because you are living together, so you have like uh going out all the time, it's the same when you first met? So
No, it's a little bit different now, but like in a better way though. Like when we were younger, like we were doing, you know, we partied a lot when we were younger. And now we just like we have the same amount of like fun. but just like doing different things, you know, like we used to do, like, I don't know if you have to censor this, but like we used to do a lot of like acid and mushrooms when we were younger, and like we didn't have any, we had no money. We were so broke, like so broke, you know, and so we just like, we did some kind of like not bad things, but we were like a bit rebellious, and you know, we spent like money that we didn't have, like, and got some credit card debt and stuff. Like we definitely, you know, did dumb things when we were young, and we partied really hard, and so we had fun, you know, and we still have a lot of spark, but it's just different, you know. It's like we're comfortable together, but we still both make an effort, like, you know, like yesterday for Valentine's Day, we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. I'm a very passionate person, but I'm actually not really like a romantic person. He's more romantic than I am. But because our anniversary is coming up so fast, we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, but I still like, I feel like I put on like a sexy outfit, and I wanted to like look really nice for him. And he like put on a nice outfit and put on some cologne, and, you know, we didn't go anywhere. Oh, it's my dog barking. We just literally sat in our living room and drank beer. That's all we did. But like, you know, so we still just, it's the same, but different. It's hard to describe. Like, it just is more like you're comfortable, but you're still like, you still want to be good for that person, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's more like settle a little bit, and instead, like not instead, but you know, the same feeling that we had before, we still feel for the person.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
so many things changed because it's just in general stuff for, you know, life.
Yeah.
You know, and marriage is like ups and downs and happy, sad, but then both is just like, okay, if happens something and we learn about that and we don't make that mistake. If we are happy with something and we get that thing and more to put over us and to make us more and more happy, you know. And it's day by day, we are just like hand by hand and together, and you know.
Yeah, exactly. yeah it's just it's like all the same love is there, but it's just different. It's more mature, and it's more comfortable, and you know, more kind of just, yeah, it's different. It's the same, but it's like evolved, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's still there. I still like, you know, like when he takes his shirt off, I'm still like, ooh, hi, that one's mine. Yeah, you know, and I'm sure he still feels the same way, but like, yeah, it just is, it's different. It's more mature.
Yeah, I know. So thank you very much to stay on my show.
Oh, thank you for having
me. I
me.
really appreciated this conversation. I hope you come back soon. You know, and then our conversation, we really needed to, you know, to put everything together and talk about everything.
I know.
More and
I'll
more,
have to have you on mine too.
Yes, of
like
course.
You can come on my show. That'd be so great. And now that I know that you're a night person, I'll be up all night, so that's fine.
And then we can stick together.
Yeah, and then when it's finally safe to come, we can come out to Ireland.
Of course. Oh my God, why not?
Yeah.
Let's go do a live together, you know, just one camera, and put our guys to be, and we'll be on the sofa,
that'd be
just
great.
like talking, and
we'll talk and talk and talk, and they can just sit there and have a drink. They'll be fine.
Yeah, both will be fine.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I say thank you. And if you want to know more, just check Prosecco and Pony with Brittany and of course you will love. And for more, check by on social media platforms, Spotify, iTunes, and you get that. Thank you very much. I hope you like it.
Thank you.
Thanks.